Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're peeling back the layers on a source that's, well, pretty extraordinary. It really challenges our usual thinking about human evolution. We're taking a deep dive into excerpts from Jejak Pengetahun Tersembunyi, Misi Kesadaran Universal, or The Path of Hidden Knowledge, Universal Consciousness Mission. Our mission here is to unpack this incredible personal story and its frankly profound claims, a quest for hidden knowledge, the big mysteries of existence, and this really startling idea that intelligences from other dimensions are actively helping humanity. So you're about to hear a perspective on human evolution you might not have come across before.
And what's so interesting, I think, about this particular source is how it kind of weaves together a very personal quest, a deep search, this huge cosmic narrative. The author talks about starting from this place of real dissatisfaction, looking for answers in different religions, various groups, but always feeling unfulfilled. And apparently it wasn't until a very specific, transformative personal experience that everything changed. This key moment, the text says, provided comprobación de existencia de inteligencias de otras dimensiones. So direct proof, basically, of these intelligences existing in other dimensions. And maybe even more striking, the claim is they've been around for millares de años, thousands of years, actively assisting human evolution. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of experience could cement that kind of belief, enough to lead to what they call a parceria, a partnership, and a compromiso como humanidad, a deep commitment to humanity that's apparently lasted over 10 years now.
10 years, wow. That is a powerful question. That implies such an extraordinary level of conviction. Does the source shed any light on how the author kept that focus, that dedication, especially with these really dramatic claims and mentioning persecution and manipulation against this truth?
It does, yeah. The source really stresses that it was the experience itself, the experiential nature of it all. That's what anchored the commitment. It wasn't just theories floating around. It was about experiencias prácticas, so practical, real experiences. Experiences with what the author calls partners and friends que vão de muito longe, which basically means, partners and friends from other dimensions who came specifically to share knowledge. The author mentions finding a group involved in differentiated research and studies. And what's fascinating there is it doesn't sound like just academic work. The source kind of hints it's more intuitive, maybe. An experiential way of knowing, where verifying these things for yourself is the most important part. This commitment to unify knowledge, it seems, only came after the author personally went through it and felt they'd verified the facts.
Okay, so differentiated research. The implication is it's a method that goes beyond our usual science. Maybe something uniquely suited for interacting with these multidimensional beings.
That seems to be the idea, yes.
And this claim about persecution and attacks by the media, that's quite strong. Does the source give any specifics? How does this manipulation actually work? Or what kind of truths are being targeted?
Exactly on the research point. It suggests something beyond just the material or intellectual, more direct personal interaction and verification. That's for the persecution. Well, the source suggests it's often subtle, pervasive campaigns. It uses the phrase ataque realize, attacks by the media. The idea being these are designed to discredit or push aside any information that shakes up the standard story of human existence. Sort of a systemic thing, trying to suppress insights for these higher intelligences and the group working with them. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it points to a really long-term engagement from these partners. The source says over the years, these beings have guided them, passed on a huge amount of knowledge, and directed them towards specific commitments. The author even describes making a personal commitment to this whole mission while estando diante de él, literally being in the presence of one of these beings.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about getting information downloads then. It sounds much more like a guided mission.
Very much so.
And the author is sharing their own journey to pass on everything they've learned, experienced in this truth-seeking process. The whole story seems to point towards a future where humanity will be muito beneficiada, greatly benefited once all this comes out. So what's the role of this unification of knowledge in that bigger picture? Why is that so important?
Well, the unification part seems key because the source implies our current view of reality is fragmented. It's incomplete. These higher intelligences, supposedly a unified grasp of existence across dimensions, history, consciousness that we just don't have yet. So their guidance is aimed at helping us integrate that broader view, basically preparing us for a future where these other realities are fully known. The account also emphasizes mutual respect in all this. It acknowledges that everyone's on their own path, their own stage of development, different experiences. It's about working together towards this unification and helping humanity. Because, as the author puts it, o mundo precisa de uma grande transformação. The world needs a major transformation and a big awakening of consciousness, really, to show humanity's true purpose.
This deep dive has really taken us on quite a journey, from someone's personal search for meaning right up to this grand vision of human transformation and awakening.
It's a huge scope.
Absolutely. And the core claims are just profound, that there's hidden knowledge out there, that advanced intelligences from other dimensions exist, are present, and have actually guided humanity through history. And that there's this dedicated group right now working to prepare us for a future where this all becomes open knowledge. The author really hammers home that a realidade que não esperta é muito maior do que nós imaginamos, meaning the reality we're not yet awake to is just vastly greater than we think.
Yeah.
It's not just about life on other planets, even. It's the implication of seres inteligências que estão muito mais avançadas, beings, intelligences, way more advanced than us, who are actually invested in our evolution.
Exactly. And maybe to bring this part of our deep dive towards a close, consider this. The account presents these multidimensional beings as evolved both technologically and spiritually, possessing muitos benefícios para passar para nós, lots of benefits they could share with us. However, they're apparently waiting for humanity to galgar alguns degrau, to climb some steps, essentially, reach a higher level of consciousness before they can get closer.
So it's not just them showing up, it's on us too.
Precisely. It puts a lot of responsibility back on humanity, doesn't it? For our own evolution, our own readiness. It's not passive waiting. It's presented as an active, reciprocal thing. And this idea, it's really powerfully captured in a message mentioned in the source from Grande Amigo, great friend, about 10 years ago. Apparently, a Brazilian reporter asked this friend for their message to Earth, and the answer was incredibly simple. Buscam conhecimento.
Seek knowledge.
Seek knowledge. Just that. And, it echoes what the Grande Maestro no Passado, the great master in the past, said. Quem tem ouvidos que usa, quem tem olhos que veja. Who has ears? Let them hear. Who has eyes? Let them see. So maybe the question this leaves you with as you listen is, how might seeking knowledge, seeking understanding, trying to raise our collective consciousness, how might that actually contribute to the kind of transformation the source talks about? And maybe even prepare humanity for the potential revelations, the partnerships that this text suggests might be waiting for us.